Like a mentality of just like living day by day, so like looking even like a week or like a month away or like next year was just like I can't even think about like what could happen because like everything was always so unexpected. I won't know if I'll wake up in the morning without electricity, you know.
I decided to make this film because as I was volunteering and working with foster youth, I realized they just did not have a say in what was happening in their own lives. That made me realize that there was a need for them to be able to voice what was going on, to be heard.
One day I woke up, there's no one in the house. And I go to school and I spend the whole day at school and I come back home and I knock on the door, still no one's at home. You know, I was a kid. I was a little kid with my younger sister, and you don't just leave two little kids in a home by themselves.
We interviewed a whole bunch of foster youth. What we found is they didn't tell us stories for like 45 minutes or an hour. They told us in depth their whole stories. It went on, like one of our interviews went on for like 9 hours. We realized we really had a lot of amazing material that we had to share. So now what we're doing is we're making a film series about foster care, and we're gonna have about 6 to 8 films that focus on individual foster youth telling their own personal stories. And then we're hoping, if we get the funding, to make a feature film. A lot of foster youth, they don't have home videos, photos, report cards, those kind of things. So to fill in those gaps, we are using art and animation. Getting permission for foster youth to like have a surgery or have like a medical need taken care of was so hard to get permission. And if I use animation, I can tell their stories without, you know, needing that. And as it ended up, we ended up working with youth who were 18 and over who could give us permission. So this is an example of some of the artwork we're doing here. It's called 65 Roses, and it's actually inspired by writing that was created by Camilla, who was the girl in the film. We've created the lungs out of roses, and it illustrates this idea of cystic fibrosis. This project has allowed me to work with people who are 18 and over. So it's really allowed me to see how foster care impacts the child throughout their life. Like you can see how it impacts an 18-year-old versus like a 40-year-old once they have their own family and their own kids. And it's been a really interesting experience to see that. And so typically I'd work a lot with the foster parents and the social workers as opposed to the children themselves. And this has given me a lot of opportunity to really talk to people who are impacted by the foster care system one-on-one and see them at very different points in their life stages.
I was moving around, you know, different homes. There's really nothing that makes that process easy. You know, little things like telling you that you're moving would be great. Not throwing your personal belongings into a trash bag would also be great. You know, one of the things I can never understand is why we don't give kids suitcases. You know, something as small as that, having your personal items thrown in a trash bag, it makes you feel really small.
So I think what we want people to take out of these films really depends on which audience it's being shown to. For foster parents or foster parents in training, we want them to understand what it's like from the foster youth's perspective. We found from showing these films is that a lot of people, they actually don't hear the foster youth perspective even if they work with them every day. So like little things that like they may not realize have an impact but really, really does.
I have a lot of identity issues because I don't know who my father is. I decided to share my story because I wanted to have a sense of empowerment and turn something that was really negative into a positive.
So now just kind of to give you the update since the film was released, she actually got married. Her brother attended the Muslim wedding. Yeah, so we're very excited about that. I think there's a success story in every single person that we've interviewed. It's just how do you define success? So for some people, success means they found their own apartment, or they've had a child at a really young age, but they're able to provide for that child and not put them in foster care. In this case, like the shoulder softened, the type would be, or the text would be really in focus. Maybe we do some other one. One of the challenges for us is getting the film out there to the right audiences. We obviously have this niche market in foster parents and social workers and people who are very, very interested in the films, but one of my goals is to really get it out there to the general public, both about foster care as well as about like the positives of foster care and the positive like success stories, and also how they can actually make a difference and how they can actually get involved. So it's also just giving awareness and helping people find out how they can help in even the smallest ways, because not everybody has time or the ability to be a foster parent.